Well, today is our open house for the community, for those that supported Serenity Sober Living House. We are at 518 Webb Street, and we currently have three women in the house. We have two more coming, but can house up to seven women. And so I opened it up just for today so you guys can get a feel and know what's really going on. This is my ministry. God put this on my heart, and this is what we're doing. I'm helping straighten out these ladies' crown and giving them hope. First Women's Transitional Housing in Jackson. We did our fundraiser at the end of April, and that first month after that, May, we've been going strong. In this home, this is a four-bedroom. We actually had two houses, but I said, let's start with this one first and let me get a feel of it, and then we're going to branch out from there. But yeah, it's been going good. We still need donations and help and, help these women because they need it and I can't do it by myself. But all things are possible through God who strengthens us, and I believe that. We actually need like toiletries, bathing stuff for the ladies, body wash, soap, toothpaste like that, tissue, paper towels, things like that. We're looking for some women are having a hard time coming up with the payments or whatever, and so if we could get somebody to sponsor them, maybe, for a certain amount of time, like that, yeah. We are in need of a van so that we can get these ladies to and from their destinations all at once.
Grandpa told me you lucky to have one friend. Situations in life coming, you gotta trust them. Found out many times in life you can't trust men. So I rolled solo, that process was an adjustment. Friends let you down, not around when you're needing them. Only here to take like a child, got you fearing them. Better off leaving them like salt, that's the seasoning. Killing black people, that sugar really depleting them. Knowledge over ignorance.
Welcome. Good evening, everyone. Jackson. Welcome to another edition of the Community Soldier Podcast. I'm excited to say we have an amazing community soldier here, Miss Shalonda Hunt. Welcome to the Community Soldier Podcast.
Thank you.
It's great to finally get you on. I wanted to make sure that we gave you the opportunity to, give you the platform so that you can introduce yourself to the people and they can get to kind of know you a little bit and, see why it's important to vote for you.
Thank you. I appreciate it. Thank you for having me, Justin. I
Yes,
know we've talked about me coming on here, and so today is the day. I'm excited.
yes, we appreciate you for taking the time too. I know you're busy. So we got a couple questions. Want to get into like some of your personal story. Can you share a little bit about your background and what growing up in Jackson has taught you about this community?
Absolutely. I am a lifelong resident in Jackson. Grew up on the east side of Jackson, what is now Ward 2, I believe it's Angelita's ward, and on Pringle Street. And those are my stomping grounds. Went to elementary, middle school, high school, and after high school, went to Jackson Community College. I'm a product of the Jackson Public Schools. Growing up here really helped me understand the beauty of Jackson, building relationships and connections. I still work here in Jackson. Um, I guess I would say I'm committed to a lot of the different boards and stuff that I sit on in Jackson. Um, Went to Jackson Community College, which is now Jackson College. Went on to Siena Heights to achieve my bachelor's degree in criminal justice. In that capacity, it has equipped me with the credentials to work with at-risk youth. I spent a lot of time working at our Jackson County Juvenile Detention Facility, about 18 years there. Prior to working at the Jackson County Youth Center, I worked about 8 years at Florence Crenton Services in our mother baby program. And I think that's where I discovered my connection, my natural connection with young people. In that role, I had the opportunity to teach parenting classes, anger management classes, many different of the different skill sets that would prepare our youth, our teenage moms at that time, to be successful and thriving citizens in our community. And in that space, a lot of those mothers, they weren't Jackson residents. So we were preparing them here, and then they were going back to their communities and being those strong young parents raising those young children.
Mm.
My family is here. My roots are here in Jackson. My family is here, and very close connections with my family.
Okay.
They're very supportive of the work that I'm doing, and I appreciate just being exposed to Jackson and what it has to offer. Raised in a very religious home environment, and I remember probably around 1920, I was like, I wonder what life is like
Mm.
in Jackson outside of attending church 5 times a week. And I discovered that being a public service is part of my calling.
That was one of my next questions, actually. So, what was it actually that motivated you to come more into that public service? Was it the church background?
It started Justin in the church background. My mom used to have our saints or church members, I'll call them, our church members, they traveled here to Jackson from out of town areas. We would provide dinner to them on the weekends. And I remember we would serve them and give them their plates and serve them dinner. And then it was our opportunity to sit down and feast amongst the church members. And I never really understood why we had to give to them first. And later in life, it became real. It came to a head. I was like, okay, this is what public service is all about, giving to others. It's the right thing to do. And there is a sense of gratification that comes with that. Certainly, they, didn't have to worry about getting back on the highway and going back home and getting food on the way. They were here. We hosted them. There was genuine hospitality, good conversation, strong relationships that were built. And I think I would credit that seed of public service being planted way back when I was a child.
Hmm. Hmm. And those are the part. What values guide your leadership decisions when it comes to the work that you do in the community?
My values are deeply rooted in the faith, my Christian background. I would say prayer.
Hmm.
Prayer has guided me through a lot of my adversities, a lot of my tough decisions that I needed to make. And because I have such a solid foundation, deeply rooted in faith, it has helped me lean into those morals and those beliefs. It's given me my compass in life, and because of that, I feel that that's something no one can take away from me.
Hmm. Yeah, I see that. Now, you were appointed to represent Ward 5. Was that in 2023? Was that a
20
temporary?
2023, yes. So there was a vacancy that came about, Ward 5, and I was one of 17 that applied for that position. If I'm recalling correctly, I think it was about 9 of us that were interviewed.
Hmm.
And I went through the interview process and I was chosen after consideration from the existing council made their decision.
Okay. And what accomplishments or initiatives are you most proud of during this time?
Justin, getting my feet planted, it took some time.
Hmm.
It was City council is different from school board and any other board that I'm either currently sitting on or have formerly sat on. And it took some time to become familiar with the nuances to the processes
Hmm.
to the responsibilities for the department heads. I needed to educate myself. Who is responsible for this? Who should I talk to about this? When I get the council packet, what's the top priorities? How do I go through a 900-page document and read through it and in a timely manner that allows me the opportunity to go and speak to those department heads to answer some of my questions.
Hmm.
So I would say that my biggest accomplishment is really just knowing, learning the process, gaining a better understanding of who to talk to. And I will say, during my time of sitting on city council, we were able to approve the city council age limit to accommodate young people interested in civic service, civil duty, as early as middle school age. And so that was a big accomplishment. Given my background experience working with teenagers, I was very excited to be a part of that decision making.
Hmm. Now you said that there was some noticeable differences between being on the school board and city council. That were kind of challenges that you had to you know, you had to overcome. What were those key differences?
I won't say that there were challenges, Justin. What I'm referring to is the type of information, the type of subject matters that we had to make decisions on.
Mm. Yes, yes, yes.
Mhm.
I could only imagine, when you're dealing with the school board, it's very specific to children and children's issues and the school operation and things like that. And when you're expanding that to the city and all of the things that you have to decide and all of the different rules, regulations, and things, I can see how that would be a lot more overwhelming for me. But how do you balance all of that? I saw you had other titles as well. Like you were a child welfare trainer at one point in time. Are you still
Currently,
doing that? Still doing that?
currently,
Wow.
yes.
So how do you balance all of that as well as everything that you're doing with the city council?
This may sound cliche, but people, humans, individuals find time to do the things that they are passionate about. I'm a
Hmm.
mother first. I love my children. I have two beautiful daughters, one that recently graduated from MSU with her biomedical engineering degree. And then I also have my youngest, who is a senior in JPS, looking to graduate and go into chemical engineering as well. So I
Hmm.
balance being a mother, I balance my job. I have external roles that I play within the community. My day starts at 4:45, Justin. I am
Hmm.
up early in the morning.
Hmm.
My morning regimen consists of my devotion, my journaling, my gospel music. I turn my gospel music on. That is a sacred time for Shalonda to
Hmm.
feed her spirit
Hmm.
because I know the demands of the commitments that I have once those business hours unfold, right? 8 a.m.
Yes.
to 5, 9 a.m. to 5. And so I won't say it's a balancing act, it's all interconnected, it's integrated together. If I am capable of being a great mom, if that one thing that you do great, it kind of causes that ripple effect.
Hmm. Yes.
I find satisfaction, fulfillment, and value in giving to others.
Okay. I like that. So far, what has been the hardest decision you've made so far as a council member?
Well, I am currently not in the seat right now, but during my year of sitting on city council, every decision, every decision is a tough decision because it impacts the larger community.
Hmm.
It requires thoughtful, intentional thinking, preparation, meaning prepared by reading the information, knowing what I'm making a decision on, and what the lasting impact is going to be on everyone. So I would
Hmm.
say I don't have that one single decision that has, caused me to toss and turn and wrestle. I felt confident in all of my decisions that I made.
Okay. And that's all we can hope for is to have people representing us and voting for us and being confident in the way that they vote.
Hmm.
I think that's one of the biggest important things for us. Now, what do you think are some of the priorities that we should focus on for Ward 5?
For anyone that is not familiar with Ward 5, we have Interfaith Shelter, Residents in Action, Aware Shelter. We have the library. We have so many organizations that are serving our vulnerable and underrepresented constituents. And because of that, I think we need to take a special interest in their identified needs. How do I go about doing that? I have to have my feet on the ground, Justin. Have an ear to the ground. What is happening? What is it that they want to see different? I'm here for the people. I'm not coming into this space with a hidden agenda or with my own agenda. This is not a Shalonda show. This is an opportunity for me to come in, identify what Ward 5 needs, be a conduit to Ward 5 and the City Council, presenting those identified concerns to the full council and giving consideration. How do we allocate funds to this underserved geographic area within our city?
Yes, because it definitely needs some attention. That is another one of my questions. Was how do you plan to secure funding for that area?
Well, we know a lot of our funding comes from state and the federal government. And so, knowing that, I would say taking a analysis of Ward 5 to explore and gain a better understanding of what Ward 5 needs specifically, and then advocate. Advocacy is when I know something and I know that we have I as a Ward 5 representative would have the autonomy to make some decisions to change the present circumstances, then that would be my purpose. That would be my goal, is to identify, advocate, and then implement, but then reason based on the funding that is available to us.
Okay. We have a viewer comment, and she says, "What do you feel Ward 5 needs in your own opinion?"
In my own opinion, Ward 5 needs a hug. Ward 5 needs a hug. Ward 5, if we just want to isolate it to Ward 5 needs a big hug. There are so many people that are suffering in Ward 5. And I plan to take that intentional effort and just dig deep and say, listen, I'm here for you. I am here to represent Ward 5. I am approachable. I am an active listener. I am willing to have those tough conversations. I'm willing to ask those tough questions. I would say, in my opinion, that Ward 5 is one of the most impoverished areas within our city.
Hmm.
And because of that, it requires some extra, some extra funding, some specific attention that is given to Ward 5.
Yes, I agree, and I think one of the things people worry about the most is how do we get that funding when you have to advocate against with all of the other areas, right? All of the other wards, some of the other wards seem to get more attention than others, especially when it comes to like um, developing that area. Like we see a lot of resources being allocated to downtown, and now we got the south side being rejuvenated. But we see sometimes the other areas get left behind. So how do you ensure that the attention gets drawn to where it needs to be?
As you were speaking, equity came to mind. Equity, right? So each area in the city of Jackson needs a different type of resources and commitment given to that area. How do I plan to do that? I plan to speak up. Speak up. Like, I will not turn a blind eye to the issues in Ward 5.
Hmm.
It's important to me, and it's important that I see the constituents in Ward 5 being provided with an opportunity to thrive and to have the resources that are available to them. Some of it is just simply education, awareness, and then someone that is willing to help bridge that gap to ensure that those service providers that have the resources, that we are bringing in those constituents so they can be on the receiving end.
Yes. Is that what your campaign is talk about when you mention the expansion?
Can I answer these questions, Justin? She's asking, how can the community
Oh,
help?
yes, yes, yes. Definitely, you can answer that. Yes, you could definitely answer that. How can the community help?
Justin, I'm not sure if you're frozen. You look frozen on my end.
I'm not frozen. Um, maybe I don't know. Are you guys still catching us? Are you still reading us good? But I'm not frozen. Maybe try to exit out and come back in. Sometimes that'll help. But we can still hear you. Can you hear us? It looks like we're not getting a good
It
signal.
looks like Justin is frozen.
It looks like I'm frozen. Someone's frozen. Okay, let's see if we can.
Well, while Justin is rejoining, I see some questions in the chat. Patricia, can you hear me?
I don't know. Am I unfrozen?
There
Hopefully, I'm
you
unfrozen
go.
now.
Okay, there you go. Yes, you were frozen for a
Yeah,
minute.
the
I was about
screen's
to call
black
some
now.
voices
So
in.
maybe it wasn't me frozen.
You were
I
frozen.
don't know.
Can you hear
She
me
says I
now?
can hear you both. I can't hear her. So I think it was her. She'll be back, hopefully. But that's a great question. How can the community help? And we're gonna give her a second to come back on
Justin,
and
can you
load
hear
back
me?
in. It's still showing it black on her screen. Are you guys seeing that?
Justin, I'm here. I'm not having any difficulties.
Oh, there you go. I
Can
see
you
you
hear
now.
me?
Yep, we can hear you and see you now. Do
Okay.
everybody says they can hear and see you. So
Yes, it was you. I couldn't see. I couldn't. You were frozen on my end.
wow, and it was showing me working, but I don't know. But they said they can hear us and see us both, so we're good now.
So the question was asked, how can the community help? I think a lot of times we sit back and we have these expectations for our leaders in the community, right? Which we are. We are the leaders. We have accepted the challenge. We're willing and committed to make those necessary changes. But it's a collaborative effort.
Hmm.
I need to know what a realistic and believable solution is from the community. I don't know what you're thinking if you don't come to the meetings and express your concerns. If you're not, if you're not being transparent, it's one thing to have a gripe, and it's another thing to say, "Hey, this is what I've seen. This is a pattern. These are some common trends, and this is what I think would help move that needle stick along." Community involvement looks like attending the meetings. If there's surveys that's going out, participating in the surveys. If there's newsletters that's keeping you informed, knowing the right information, the most factual, accurate information, and not sharing information that is not correct. That feeds into some of the issues that our city is having because
Hmm.
there's multiple narratives being shared. And if we all come together and build that cohesive team, then we're all speaking the same language. We have a shared understanding, and we all have a common goal that we're trying to achieve.
Yeah, I do see that as a big problem with the misinformation.
Hmm.
Because even I've fallen victim to it, where I've heard something and then I think it comes from a reliable source, and then later you
Hmm.
find out that that wasn't the case, and you have to take something down or walk something back. Um, I think a lot of people have told me that they want to be more active involved with the city, but their problem is they're not seeing the information about the city council meetings. Um, I guess if they don't follow the pages or go to the city hall page, they don't really know about the information. Um, how can we remove some of the barriers for access? for the information that, when they're having meetings and things like that? What can you do personally to help with that?
So Justin, I heard your question, but I'm also gonna rephrase the question.
Hmm.
Currently, what we have in place is Code Red. We have our website, and we do know that not everyone is technology savvy, right? And say that that's not their first course of action to go and seek out information on a website.
Hmm.
I want to hear from the community.
Oh, we
What
just
are
got one
other
coming.
Yeah, what are other platforms that you would appreciate the city sharing information?
We have one user just posted. I think why that's why we look to Justin, because me working 10 to 12 hours, I can only see what he is posting on the meetings. So they only get
Mhm.
updates from Facebook and things like that. Um, I think that we can do more with sharing it on some of the other platforms. It says it would be cool if the city of Jackson posted the dates for the city council meetings on their Facebook page.
Okay. That's an easy one. That's an easy fix. I know currently they're on, if you go onto the City of Jackson website, they have the agendas, they have the meeting dates, they have the composition of each commission that is made up, how many members, what the mission and vision is of those commissions. I
Hmm.
would, I can totally advocate for that, the meetings and the schedules being provided on the Facebook page. That seems to be pretty easy.
Yes. Also, our next comment says, also, could the city council meetings allow for online participation? I know some areas that do, but we don't here in Jackson. That would be amazing for removing some of the transportation barriers for
Okay.
people to get to meetings.
I do know that currently, if there's a public hearing, that our city clerk does receive some written responses, and she'll read those publicly.
Hmm.
My understanding is that they're asking for something live, like what we're in this moment.
Yes, yes, and that, see, for me, I always, I said for someone too, because I can't always make it to the city council meetings. I know they usually
Mm-hmm.
start like around 6:30, something like that.
6:30.
Yep,
Mm-hmm.
6:30, and for me, that's right when I'm getting home. I'm usually cooking dinner at that time with the family, after a long day at work, just like you guys. So I usually watch it from the YouTube page when you broadcast it from the YouTube page, and
Okay.
I'm able to tap in every meeting that way. But like she said, I'm not able to comment. I'm not able to, you know, leave any response because the comments are turned off on the YouTube page, so they can't even accept citizens' comments in that way either.
Okay.
Uh,
I am happy to present that as a desire from the community, and see, what's the pleasure of the council. Again, that's something that I would support, given the capability. So certainly I'm one voice,
mhm.
and so if that is something that is agreed upon,
Yes, yes.
there would have to be some parameters in place. Currently, a lot of our meetings are they're long.
Hmm.
They're long, and if there's public comment, we would be able to. There probably will be the same time limit, 3 minutes, to provide your comments to the board, to the council. But I have made a note of that, and
Yes,
where we can go with that.
that seems to be a hot topic. We also have another user that just asked, can K105 announce it on the radio station when there's a meeting? That's also a good idea as well.
Okay, these are good ideas, and my commitment is to listen to the concerns of my constituents and then advocate.
Hmm. Yes, and that's all the people are asking for.
Hmm.
And it seems like a lot of people want to get their voice out, but they haven't been able to come down. Um, so I think if we can figure out some type of way to meet everybody where they're at,
Hmm.
um, that would help with making it more inclusive.
And just for clarity, for the K105, are you saying just an announcement? Hey,
Mhm.
today is Tuesday, the second Tuesday of the month, the fourth Tuesday of the month. City Council is scheduled to meet at 6:30, second floor in the chambers. something that of that magnitude. Is that what you're asking? Is that what was that the ask?
Yes, yes.
Okay.
Just like a friendly little reminder. Hey, the school city council meeting is this Tuesday at 6:30 p.m. at such and such location. Um, quick thing like that. Because I know for me, I would have to search out that information myself, and I'm cool with a computer, but I know a lot of people don't have computers. Um, Especially a lot of people in poverty still don't have a computer inside their home, and we're operating off of cell phones.
Mm-hmm.
And sometimes navigating the websites on the cell phones is just not the easiest thing to do. Um, so I think just to help remove some of the barriers for all people, man, and create more access.
I appreciate those suggestions, and they are noted.
Yes, it seems like everybody's all of the comments are on the same wavelength. So I think that's a thing that you can propose and it would be a hit when you get in there.
I like that. We're claiming it. When?
Yes, when you get in there.
November 4th. The vote for Hunt is a vote for you. I'm here for the community.
November 4th, y'all hear that? So let's talk about some of the education stuff. As vice president of the Jackson Public School Board, how do you see the city council working better with the schools?
As president of the Jackson Public School
Oh,
Board,
excuse me. Sorry.
I was vice president
Excuse me.
last year. Um, Justin, stop.
Yeah, get it right.
I will say I'm in a unique space. I'm in a unique space. I feel like collaboration is something that we're already doing, and it's probably not being spoken about as loud and frequent as we could. We
Hmm.
do have partnership with the Parks and Recreation Department, and there's already a relationship with City Council.
Hmm.
We have a partnership with them with the Youth Council. So Ward 5 has our only high school in that geographic area.
Tell us
City
about the youth city council.
the city Nicoya Davis is the one that's over there right now. And what we I have limited knowledge on that, but I'll speak to what I'm aware of is that we're recruiting. We're recruiting because we do find value in youth voices. When we talk early, we talk often. This grants us the opportunity to educate our young people at a younger age and then better prepare them to transition into the roles that you and I are in today, Justin.
Mm, that's very
Youth
much needed.
Council, Youth Council is really just leveraging the voices. These students are in traditional classroom setting. They are inside of what their education career looks like. And so we're asking for them to be the voice. It's a small body currently, and that voice of young people are uprising leaders. They're young people that care about what the next generation is. Currently, we expanded the age to accommodate middle school age. So if you're at middle school, you can participate in the youth council through high school. Initially, it was just for high schoolers only, and then we had Avion who came. He was a voice for the young people. He came, he spoke. He didn't come once, he didn't come twice, he came multiple times. We heard him loud and clear, and the council approved that decision to expand the age limit to accommodate middle school students.
Mm, nice, nice. Now, for as far as the schools go, is there a specific program or policy that you want to see either come to JPS or to see them keep that will help keep young people safe, engaged, and prepared for the future?
You know, I hate to bring up COVID, but COVID impacted our students' academic journey. And I think today, while some say, well, that's a time of the past, it the lasting impact is still obvious and is still present
Hmm.
today. And for me, currently we have after school programs to help our students close that gap of when they, were at home trying to learn information in a virtual setting with the circumstances around them impacting their ability to internalize the information. So there was a lot. It was a lot going on at one specific time. And then we bring them back. And so I think that if we continue to have our after school programs, we have the dual enrollment, and then credit recovery, working with all the resources that already exist to build that robust education, city council, coordinated services program, aligning those school programs with the curricula and the schedules that meet the needs of all of our students.
Yeah, yeah. It's one of the sad things, consequences that happen from COVID. We're seeing children not being able to read. You know, that's one of the saddest things, that our reading levels are really low right now.
And we're not okay with that.
Hmm.
We're not okay with that. I met with the superintendent today and we were talking about the process for absenteeism, truancy, things of that nature. And that was one of the barriers, just getting our students back into the regular school setting,
Hmm.
shifting their mindsets back to, okay, yes, we had pause. Life was on pause for a minute as our normal. And now that we've come back, we're trying to regain the grounds that we've lost. But we do have those things in place to ensure that we are seeing higher percentages of our students being prepared for post secondary education.
Hmm.
We have a lot of work to do, Justin. I have to be honest. We have a lot of work to do. And we have our faculty, our staff, Jeremy, our superintendent, that is working boots on the ground with our parents, our two-way phone calls. We're not letting things just spiral out of control. If a student misses a certain amount of days, we're calling them.
Hmm.
And if it continues to fester, now we have letters that are being sent home. We're contacting the parents. What are the barriers? Sometimes we don't know what their barriers are. It could be a parent that was working third shift. That was true for me. I had
Hmm.
experiences with the truancy officer back when my oldest daughter, was in school and I was working third shift. Excessive tardies. Those tardies, two tardies equal an absence. And it built up. I was doing the best that I could at that specific time. And I
Hmm.
remember having a conversation with the truancy officer and I said, this isn't my daughter's fault. I work third shift. I get off work. I get her ready for school. By the time I pick her up, get her ready for school, and get her to the front door, that's a celebratory moment.
Yeah.
It was hard work. And once we had that sit down conversation, they now had a better understanding. It wasn't just negligence. It wasn't, oh, she has school. I'll get her there at 8:30. It was consistently late the same amount of time. I use that example because we have parents today that are still faced with that situation. There are circumstances outside of their control. They're in survival mode, and their job may be that one single thing that is impacting their child's education, the timeliness in which they're getting to school, homework being completed, so on and so forth. So, again, I think if we work together, involve the parents. I would love to see more parent involvement.
Hmm.
Then we can close some of these gaps that have been lingering for some time.
Yes, we have a couple user comments. She said, "My son began to hate the computer. She thinks that there need to be more training on how to navigate them."
Of
Wow,
course.
wow, and that's a common theme that we see with people that are formerly incarcerated that do long prison terms. Um, I actually met with a man who was having a hard time filling out online applications, and we are seeing that a lot of people actually all around the board need more education and more training on navigating a computer. We have another one that says, "Do you feel sixth graders should be with seventh and eighth graders? This Tuesday, another sixth grader is experiencing bullying by the older students. This was an issue when I was in school." Yeah, that's different. And I grew up in New Jersey, and in New Jersey, you do elementary school up until sixth grade, a-
Mm-hmm.
and then you went to what they called middle school, which was seventh and eighth grade, and then you graduated to high school and did ninth through 10th. So that is something maybe we could have a conversation about sixth graders around seventh and eighth graders.
I guess I'll say this. In my middle school, we were the first class as ninth graders to transition to Jackson High. And I remember all of my older friends saying, "Y'all too young. Y'all need to stay in middle school. It's not time for y'all to come yet." I think that's what I'm hearing from Patricia is saying that the sixth graders, and I don't want to speak for you. Are you saying that they're too young? They're still innocent? Okay, they're still
Hmm.
innocent.
Yeah,
Yes, they're still young, they're still
yes.
innocent. And I don't know that I have an opinion about the composition of how it's designed currently, sixth, seventh, and eighth grade, ninth through 12th. It's something that I would explore. Certainly, I would want to see what the parents of our current student, sixth graders, what their opinions are. But again, yes, they are young. They're young and they're innocent.
Yeah.
I would like to get an assessment from the parents and see if this is like a bigger issue.
I think it's becoming an issue probably because of the age of puberty now has gotten younger, and now you're seeing seventh and eighth graders that have gone through puberty. Whereas when I was younger, sometimes you didn't hit that phase till a little later, or or so. I think it's getting earlier now. And
Justin, it's even earlier than that. It's
wow,
happening in fifth grade
wow,
right now. You go to some
wow.
of our middle schools, and some of our fifth graders look like they should be preparing to go to Jackson High. Like physically changing their voice.
Yeah,
It's real. It is
yeah,
happening. Some of our, I don't know if it's the food, I don't know what it is, but they are going through that adolescent phase much sooner than what you and I may be accustomed to knowing.
yeah. That is true. I know at the fifth, my son was in fifth grade, and at his Sharp Park graduation, my wife was like, "There is no way this child is in the same grade."
Right, right. And I've seen your son. He's pretty tall. Yeah, he's tall.
Yeah, and he looks like a midget to some of the girls in his class.
See, someone said they were 9 when they hit puberty.
Wow.
The age is getting younger and younger, and one might say, how do we evolve? How do we stay up with, the changes? They're happening so rapidly. I'm not dismissing the question or even
Hmm.
entertaining the thought. I really just would feel more comfortable if I was able to assess,
Hmm.
survey the parents, ask them, "Well, do you have concerns about your fifth grader going into sixth grade
Hmm.
with older students?" And then I would have a better response for you.
Yeah, yeah, that's definitely something that would need some more research and more information to make an informative decision.
Hmm.
Now, you're running against an opponent. What sets you apart in your platform apart from theirs, and what would make you the better choice?
I first want to just say I'm running for the city of Jackson.
Hmm.
I'm running for the city of Jackson. My platform is on public safety, economic opportunity, and safe neighborhoods. I am a proven leader. It takes courage to be in these positions, and I'm a champion for Jackson. This is where I call home. I have raised my children here. We've received our education here. My work is here. I'm invested in the city of Jackson. And so when you say you're running against someone else, I'm saying I'm running for the city of Jackson.
Yes, I like that answer.
Mm-hmm.
I like that answer. That's a much better answer. Yeah, we like that. You see the comments.
Hunt strong. Yes, I'm here. When you're in situations like this, you almost have to have tunnel vision. What is
Hmm.
it that I want to do, and how do I set myself apart from anyone else? I don't need any distractions right now. I know where my heart is. I know why I'm running, and I'm asking for the support of the community. A vote for Hunt is a vote for you. Someone said, "Well, wasn't that your slogan for JPS?" It sure was. There's no need for me to
Hmm.
rebrand myself. I have been consistent. I show up. I lead with integrity, and I am here for the people. I had a conversation with someone over the weekend, Saturday, and almost brought tears to her eyes. She was like, Shalonda, thank you for being approachable,
Hmm.
and thank you for helping me with this situation.
We got a user comment. Kendrick is asking, "What are your thoughts on healing trauma and strengthening mental health?" That's a
Oh,
great one.
Kendrick, we have a lot of unaddressed mental health.
Hmm.
And I think that in order for us to thrive, we have to give some special attention to our mental health statuses of our students, our families, everyone as a whole. Yes, it is important. If I'm not okay, I can't give to others. If I'm not okay, emotionally, mentally sound, I experience challenges with parenting my children. I experience challenges with showing up in my day to day work and performing at optimal level. So, yes, it is important that we acknowledge that healing trauma is real.
Yes, very
Trauma
much
is
so.
real, and we can't do it alone. It requires that wraparound approach to experience seeing individuals at their best, like functioning or operating in their best, the best version of themselves. So I am a strong advocate for acknowledging that trauma exists and looking to service providers to help strengthen the mental health status of our students, our parents, our community, our constituents, anyone that needs it.
Mhm. I see that as one of the big problems in Ward 5. Actually, being the case manager, I spent a lot of time in the shelter and working at Reed Manor. One of the first thing I noticed when working there was how the average age of the resident, it became lower and lower over the years that I've been in
Mhm.
Jackson. I remember when I first moved here in 2005, 2006, Reed Manor was majority elderly people, right?
It was. Mm-hmm.
It was to the point where I had thought when I first moved here, I thought that that was an old folks home community,
Mm-hmm.
because that's where my grandmother lived. And then while I was working there, I saw that the average person living there was younger and younger and younger, and we're finding out that it was a lot because of the mental health of our community. We were seeing more people disabled with mental illness, and they were getting approved to live there because of the disability. So that was a huge issue there. And a lot of people in the community actually feel that our current city officials have started to criminalize homelessness and mental illness. And we think that's a big issue that needs some attention in our communities. Actually, we got one of those questions just came in, is what are your thoughts on homelessness in the community and making it easier for them to obtain resources?
In my knocking doors, in my experience, this journey of this grassroots campaign, I've had the opportunity to speak directly with some of our unhoused homeless individuals and actually go into their spaces that they have caught home. And what my thoughts are about homelessness is that yes, there are some unaddressed mental health issues, and it's really lack of education. Lack of education. We need to find a way to get the attention of these homeless people or the unhoused individuals. like within reach enough that they will take advantage of the resources. They're
Mm,
here. There's fear. Fear is crippling. And some people are like, you know what? I don't know that this service provider is going to help. Is it a temporary fix? Is it really going to change my lifestyle? You know, not just for today, tomorrow, next month, but is this the end to my suffering? Is this the end to my days of living in survival, that flight or flight mentality? So again, I think it's important that we address it. It breaks my heart. It breaks my heart. I was not too human to not go up and have a conversation with them. I walked in their neighborhoods. I wanted to see. I needed to see for myself, what is it that I'm reading about? What is it that
mhm.
people in the community are talking about? And these individuals, we stood there and had a very lengthy conversation. And they was like, you know, thank you for taking the time to talk to us.
Yeah. I,
Not all homeless people want to be in that. That's not their desire. They do not. That's not their choice.
mhm.
But somewhere life has brought them to this point of dire need or desperation. And so I think, again, it's important that we take the time to figure out ways in which we can leverage all of these service providers that we already have in place.
Mhm. Yeah, I think that's going to be major because the problem is getting worse. We see more people actually sleeping in front of um, City Hall. I've seen people
The
sleeping in front of
library,
the post. Oh, the library is
the post
heartbreaking.
office,
It's heartbreaking.
it's heartbreaking. And for one, I want them to know, Shalonda, I'm here. I'm here for you. You need something to eat? I'm going to bring you something to eat. You
Mhm.
know, you need someone to talk to. You need someone to tell you what time the bus comes to this bus stop. You need information. I am that representative. I'm that conduit to providing information that they would not otherwise be provided.
Ooh, this is a question right here. What Kendrick says, are you willing to challenge the system itself? If we are being transparent, we are in a time like no other. In order to bring sustainable change as a representative of the city, the structure itself has to be assessed and revitalized. Are you up for that challenge?
Absolutely.
Ooh, that's the one right there.
Absolutely.
That's the one right there. I think a lot of people have been upset, like especially a lot of young people. I try to get talk to young people about our local politics and figure out why people just aren't voting. Even some of my friends, I've asked them why don't they vote? And
Hmm.
especially with black men, the common answer is because they don't believe in the system. They
Mm,
they don't believe that we have authentic voices there that are actually capable of making change. They often see like even with Mahoney being the mayor, um,
hmm.
the average black male in Jackson, and we look at that, we see that as encouraging, but also we see a man in a position where his hands is tied behind his back, and we feel like there's someone above him that's not letting him be what he needs to be to help the city. And a lot of people feel that that's what happens with a lot of people when they get put in those positions. You know what I mean? Like we feel like that the system is still too strong for us to even make any headway with that. What do you say to those people that have that like hopeless feeling that the system is not going to work for them or that the system doesn't work for them? Why do they need to engage?
So, as you were speaking, we know that there are systemic challenges. The bureaucracy of the way our systems are designed, the policies that have long existed, have those parameters in place that require us to maneuver and to pivot differently. So
Hmm.
there are some challenges that already exist before we even get to these positions. And I think
Hmm.
that needs to be said loud and clear. We're not coming in and with the autonomy to just change and start from a clean slate. There are already systemic disparities that we as a community, as a nation, as a state of Michigan, that we have to figure out ways, innovative ways to change what has been the standard practice.
Hmm.
Now, There is a process with all decision making, Justin. The mayor doesn't just make the decision on his own. Neither will Shalonda, when I am in office, make the decision solely for Ward 5. There is a process, meaning we have to have a quorum. We have to have that majority vote. We have to discuss it. We have to discuss it openly. We have to look at the long-term impacts of what those decisions will have on our city and our constituents. And so I think for individuals that feel like, oh, the system is already tainted, this is not, your voice matters. Your voice matters. If you don't like what's happening right now, why would you silence yourself? We're not silencing you. Lean in. We want to hear from you. How can we collaborate together? Yes, it's uncomfortable. I always say, let's cut that main thread. If you've had all of these thoughts about the system is broken, it's never going to be fixed, how can you be a catalyst for change? What role do you play in changing the current circumstances?
Yes. She answered this question a little earlier, but she might want to answer it again. What was the major reason you chose to run, or what inspired you?
It's my passion. It really is. I have a deep rooted love for servicing others, just being there. I'm happier when I see individuals happy. And I'm willing to go the extra mile, bend over backwards to ensure that I have helped this person in a way that they can walk away feeling like, okay, this is what I needed. Thank you, Shalonda, for helping me. In my day-to-day job, I'm a child welfare trainer. I'm training foster care case managers on policy and procedures and trying to empower them to be the best child welfare specialists for our children in the foster care system. That doesn't come easy. But I'm in a position where I can share my lived experiences with people. I can tell them what didn't work and what worked effectively. What decisions I made that delivered positive outcomes. And for City Council, I am here to deliver believable, realistic outcomes. Collectively, I'm working with you. I'm asking the community to invest in me as your representative for Ward 5. I can't do this alone. I need you. And I don't need individuals that are just here to gripe. Let's brainstorm some ideas. Let's think outside the box. If we are tired, let's be tired together. Let's be tired together so much so that we're like, okay, enough is enough. Jackson is deserving of being a safe environment. Stable, sustainable, beautiful, but we have to do it together.
Yes.
These podcasts exist because, Justin, you like, listen here, I need a louder voice. I need a platform that I can get my messaging out to a larger number of individuals. Something that may have started like really small and intimate. Now you have this panoramic view.
Yep.
People are now signing in, they're asking questions. This same type of interaction that we are getting on this tonight, I need you to be the same. I need you to demonstrate the same level of involvement when I win this seat.
Hey, she said, "Are you going to do a commercial?" I'll shoot it.
Okay, let's schedule it. I'm ready. Let's schedule it.
We'll get it done. Just let me know. We'll put it together. Lastly, we get ready to get out of here, but I want to ask a couple questions. If voters remember just one thing about your leadership, what do you hope it will be?
I heard you. I'm listening. You matter. And we can do this together.
this is my absolute favorite question. I always ask, and I always close the show with this. This is a visionary question, make
Okay.
believe question. So you can go with this as big or as little as you want.
Oh, now I'm curious. What you about to ask me, Justin?
So if you had unlimited amounts of money, funding to change one issue in Jackson, what would it be and why?
What would it be and why? All right. Teenagers, youth are my jam. Our youth are our next generation. I want to invest in our youth, jobs, education, preparing them to pass the baton with confidence and continue the work that I'm starting.
Yes. Yes. Amazing answer. And that's the perfect choice. Invested in our future, y'all.
Yes.
Yes. Well, we appreciate you. This is our hour. Well, that was a quick hour. That was
That was a quick
fast.
hour. Come on, let's keep going.
That
I'm
was quick.
excited.
Yeah. I
I
mean,
am
we could keep it
excited to
going.
serve the city of Jackson.
Well, let's ask everybody out there. Does anyone else have any questions ready and prepared that they want to ask? Does anybody else have anything that they want to ask while we still have it here? This is your time to shine right now. I do have another one. Why? Oh, he said, why should voters trust you to represent Ward 5? Real quick.
Why should they trust me?
Yep.
I've been consistent. I'm here. I show up. I lead with integrity. I am a listener. When I talk to people, I give them eye contact. What you say to me matters. It's important. And if I cannot give you an answer in the moment, thank you so much for giving me homework to go and conduct my due diligence and follow up. So I'm committed, and everyone should vote for me because I'm here to do the work.
Yes.
This is a challenge that I have taken on. I have the broad shoulders. I'm resilient. I'm ready. I am ready to fight for not just Ward 5, but the city of Jackson.
Nice. I know one thing that I would love to see, and I think that would help actually get the community more involved in politics and wanting to vote. If we had candidate debates, like I think we have to have debates because we don't always get a chance or get the forum to learn who the candidates are.
You have a
Um,
podcast.
yeah,
Organize it, schedule it. I
yes,
mean, I didn't I was totally open to coming onto your podcast. Thank you so much for having me. And we are aware that we have another individual that is running as well, and schedule it. I'm open.
yes,
When you
yes,
say debate, healthy debate, right?
yes.
You
Not
want
like
to
a
learn, you want to learn from each of us in the same moment.
yes. We just want to be able to ask
Okay.
both people the same questions, just like I asked you the question. We'd like to ask that question and give people the opportunity um, because I know a lot of times, even voting in primary elections, right?
Hmm.
You've got all these candidates, and a lot of black people. We just know, oh, Democrat, Democrat. We might vote blue all the way down the line. We might just, and half the time we don't even know who the candidate is. Sometimes, to be
Hmm.
honest, I know a lot of people that are like that. And if we had a better forum to get to know the candidates, I think that would be a lot helpful, especially for local politics, getting people involved into that local politics because I was speaking to some young men and they didn't know who our police chief was. They
Oh.
they couldn't name anyone in our city council um, outside of the mayor, Daniel Mahoney. They didn't know anyone who made any policies, any laws. Um, they just found out about the street changing of Milwaukee Street to Carl Breeding Way. It's like a seems like a big disconnect from city government and the community. So I think we need to do a little bit more with educating and getting people to understand what these roles are and who the people are.
Justin, is this an individual that lives in Jackson?
Yes,
Okay. All right.
yes, and I think that was one of the main reasons why I became a community advocate was because
Mm-hmm.
a lot of people would message me privately and they would ask me these questions.
Mm-hmm.
Where do I go to for city council meetings, or who is city council? What do they do? Or Who is this person and what does this person do and what does this position is, and you know the average person doesn't even know, like, does a city council person get paid? Is there a salary with this position? What are you doing this for? Most people don't understand any of the rules to it. um, so I think we have to do more in educating people exactly what it is.
I agree. And as you were speaking, it came to mind. I've had a lot of people reach out to me. I was like, Shalonda, I support you. I am voting for you. I'm voting for you. And I've had to tell them, my first question, do you live in Ward 5? Are you a resident in the city of Jackson in Ward 5? So, for everyone listening in, if you live in Ward 5, a vote for Hunt is a vote for you. You get to vote for me. If you live in any of the other 5 wards, you are unable to vote for me. However, you are able to share my messaging. Share
Hmm.
my messaging, share my Facebook posts, share my commercial when Justin and I complete that. I'm speaking that into existence, Justin.
Hmm.
And then support the candidate. Do your research. Um, Figure out what we stand for, what our mission, what our goal is, and how we plan to lead in this capacity. I
Yes.
always say this is hard work, but it requires heart. My heart is in this, and because of that, I am the best candidate.
Yes. Ooh, Trisha, yeah, you just came late, but she did talk about that too. All Ward 5 covers.
And we recently went through, I think it was a few couple years ago, maybe 3 years ago, there was some redistricting. And
Hmm.
so for those of you that are familiar with Jackson, I'll start right down at the Ganson and South Jackson Street, and you come up all the way up to Morrell, and you have um, First Street. Harwood is the cutoff, hits West Ave, and it comes all the way back down to Ganson. So there's a little awkward shaped square. I do have maps. I will provide a map for you on my Facebook page so that you can see. You may be a resident in Ward 5, and I may have won. I hope I've won your vote tonight.
Yes, I hope so too. Well, real quick, you just piqued my interest when you said this. What do you think about redistricting?
Well, I mean, we certainly have to stay up with the population of people in the city and stuff. So it's not a think; it's a requirement. It's what cities do, how it's done, how it's carried out. I don't have enough knowledge about the process, but I think it is. It's not about an opinion question. It's
Hmm.
what happens in cities,
Yeah,
states, across those lines.
I don't know enough information about it, but from what I've heard, um, I know a lot of advocates, community advocates, especially Black community advocates, have been against the redistricting, only because of the way that they do the zoning. It seems like they're drowning out our voice sometimes, or the way that the maps get drawn. And we have to find a better way to protect our voices because we're not getting out there as it is anyway. Um, so I still don't have an opinion on it, but I'm still trying to learn about it. That's why I was curious to hear what you had to say about
Let's
it.
learn together.
Yes.
Let's There you go. Let's learn together, and then two voices. Now we have two strong voices that can share with our community the importance and the rationale behind the redistricting.
Yeah, Trisha, I think you're outside of the district too. I think you're a little further down, more east side, than when. Yeah, I think you're
What
further
street
east.
does she live on?
She's by Loomis Park.
Loomis Park. No, she's actually in. If she's in Loomis Park, if it's on that side of the street, it should be Freddie Dancy.
I think she's on the opposite side of the
If
street.
she's on the other side, then it's Angelita.
Okay.
Angelita Gunn. And
Okay.
we do know, I mean, just as I'm exiting wards 1, 3, and 5, the NAACP has scheduled a candidate forum. This is another opportunity for you to hear from all of us. And the
Oh,
date of that is on October 16th. October 16th at MLK.
Okay.
There
What
is an
time?
NAACP candidate forum.
What time is that?
I have it at 7 p.m.
I will be there. And you said it's going to be at the.
Yes, MLK
Okay.
Recreation Center. Yep. So that
Perfect.
is NAACP candidate forum.
All right. We'll make sure
So
we'll
this
be
gives you
there.
just a little glimpse of the debate that everyone is hoping to achieve. I don't know that it'll be a debate because I'm not sure if it's just wards 1, 3, and 5 that will be present, meaning Angelita, Arlene, Shalonda. Certainly, we know that we all are, we have other people that are running in the same race. So it would be nice for all of us to be present there so that we can
Yes.
bounce those questions off of all of us and hear the variation of responses.
Yes, I would love to. I would love to see that happen. I honestly would, and I'm gonna do everything I can to make sure that we get the community involved, so we can be prepared to listen and have some questions ready.
Sure, some
Will they allow
advertising.
public?
I am not a part of the planning process. I don't want to misspeak, but I
Hmm.
do know, I would hope so. I would hope so. I
Yeah.
know that for the school board race, there was two-way dialogue that was
Hmm.
offered. We had 10 candidates running for the city school board positions. And so we did have the opportunities to ask them questions.
Yeah, I liked how they did that.
I believe it will be, my assumption is that it's going to be moderated and there's going to be some structure in place.
Yeah, we looking forward to that. Well, I don't want to hold you up too much, and I know I got to get ready to eat my dinner. I'm getting the side eyes like what you said an
All right.
hour.
Well, I will again just thank you for this opportunity. Thank you all for engaging virtually. Thank you for the questions. Um, I don't know everything, but I'm here to absorb the concerns of our constituents and find out ways that we can work together to see the
Yes.
change that we all we want to live to see, right? It's happening. It is possible. And so it takes all of us coming together to build a brighter future. Thank you so much.
Yes, thank you. All right, guys. It's been amazing. It's been an amazing episode. We definitely appreciate you and thank you for taking the time to be with us today. I'm sure that everybody got a lot from it, as much as I got from it. We're excited. We support you on your journey, and we're looking forward to seeing what's next.
I am canvassing the neighborhood Saturday, 10 to 2. This is your first opportunity to begin working together to change Ward 5. If you are interested in working, coming out to canvass the neighborhood, knock doors, drop lead, please reach out to me at 517-315-7111.
All right, y'all heard it first, man. Appreciate you again. We hope you have a good night, and we will see y'all later. We have a quick commercial, and then we out of here, guys.
Thank you so much. I appreciate it.
Quick shout out to today's sponsor, Printer Source Plus in Jackson, Michigan, proudly serving our area since 2006. Printer Source Plus delivers tailored printing solutions from desktop printers and scanners to wide format copiers and shredders from top brands like Epson, Brothers, Samsung, and Kyocera. Over 19 years, they've been your go-to for top quality and affordability. You need to check them out. Why choose them? Their private label ink and toner reduces your cost by up to 50% compared to OEM, backed by a 100% lifetime guarantee. Quick shout out to today's sponsor.
Grandpa told me you lucky to have. Grandpa told me you lucky to have one friend. Situations in life coming, you gotta trust them. Found out many times in life you can't trust men. So I rolled solo, that process was an adjustment. Friends let you down, not around when you needin' them.